Broke one.
One down.
He's probably got 300.
Downed one down there.
Caught up in the life of a modern day cowboy, riding that Harley like I had to go still
That guy's
one, chasing that high danger when I wake, dodging every single
Downed him.
bullet that's fired my way.
Top one is down.
Mudslinger on them county
Downed him.
roads, Southern boy tattoos from head to toe. To hell
Down
with
one.
being birded for the camera and phones. I came to get dirty and I got one.
Push him with Mike.
Till anybody left my enemies.
Mike just got absolutely destroyed.
No matter how bad it seems.
I got him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm stuck in a fucking Jenna park.
Okay, well, you're welcome anyway. On the right. Let's see. Downed him. Take your time over there, Mike. I got this.
Yo, why are you taking hours?
Only speaking for
Got him. Down that guy. Oh, yeah. Big butt slap, Pat. Big butt slap. Another one down. Down, that guy dead. That guy's broken, he marked. Down him. Right here. Down him. Got him down.
I ain't even gotta say, cause everybody can tell. I'm leaving out of my enemies. Hell yeah, no matter how bad it seems.
Hey, party pals, we have another great interview this week. He's a staple in the DK community. He's been running through the fields of Halvloy, crossing the streets of Verdansk, and now you can catch him catching some suns on the beaches of Caldera. While he's great at many things in the gaming world, he's exceptional at two. One is smacking that ass with the Swiss. The second, stealing that satchel from SoCal. Please welcome the Southern Slayer, the Toast of Texas, the man simply known as POC. Welcome to the party, pal.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks,
What's
guys.
going on, man?
Nice.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Doing great. Feeling good and happy to be here.
Can't
Dude, pleasure's all ours. Man.
absolutely absolutely cannot thank you enough for coming on and being a part of our show and interviewing with this community, because people are very curious what makes POC tick. That's for sure.
Awesome.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. Glad to be here.
100%.
Y'all have asked. We're gonna deliver it.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people don't know that we reach out for interviews sometimes a month or 2 months in advance, and we had talked to you a little bit ago. You know, everything gets busy in life, and I was sitting in SoCal stream just this week, I think it was like Monday, and he was like, you know who I really want you to bring on? POC. I would watch that. And I'm like, it's funny you should say that.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
So I'm way excited. So, you know, we know you as POC, right? We've seen you rip Battlefield. We've seen you rip through Warzone. But we got a big burning question. Like, who is POC behind the scenes? Who is the man behind the camera?
Man, there's a lot to unpack there. So I am a 40-year-old happily married father of two. I've got a 16-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. Been married to Miss POC for 21 years now. Been together for 26 years.
Congratulations.
So, we've been together for a long time. So yeah, that's the biggest part of my life. Then I am also a petroleum landman. I'm an independent contractor. Been doing that for about 6 years now and loving it. I'm also a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, it's doesn't sound like much, but there's a lot of work that went into getting that belt. It took about 3 years for me to get it. And I love shooting guns. I'm a Texan, you know, so pretty much born with a shotgun at least, you know. So love doing that. And then the rest of the time that I have is spent trying to stream and get better at this game.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
So now you have two kids. How old are your kids?
My son's 16.
Okay.
And then my daughter is 7.
Oh,
So-
nice, dude. That's 16 is a fun age for a boy. Like a boy and a man, you know, a father. That is, it's challenging because we're all full of piss and vinegar when we're at 16. Think that we know everything in the world.
Surprisingly
Oh, yeah.
enough, he's not. Like,
Nice!
He is a very level-headed kid. Like he always has been. When he was a baby, from the time from the time he was little, it was just like, I was like, what is this parent thing about? Like, what are people talking about? Like, it's easy, super easy. Like, I'll just give you an example. Potty training my son. One day I took him and I was like, look, here's your toilet. You're going to pee and poop in that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you go to the bathroom. And then be damned if it wasn't like an hour and a half later, I was like, where is Nathan at, dude? And I start walking down the hallway and I pass the bathroom. He's sitting on the toilet reading an Xbox magazine.
That's
Dude, and I'm like, and it was like that night and day. He never wore a diaper again. It was like, and then he's an awesome student. He's in the honor society in school. He's been, playing the alto saxophone in band for 6 years now. He's really good at that. He's got a lot of dreams, a lot of ambition. He's also a badass in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Now we have taken a break ever since the COVID thing happened.
okay.
So it's something we got to get back into. Right now, he's got all these advanced classes he's in, tons of homework. So it's really difficult with the schedule for us to train like we were. We were training 5 days a week. Well, 6 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
And he did some professional jiu-jitsu tournaments and kicked ass in them. And I mean, he's a little beast, man. Couldn't be happier. And
that's awesome.
my daughter, we're going to be getting into it too. So
That's awesome. The whole family thing. Does your wife
Yeah.
do it as well?
she does the kickboxing. She
Cool.
wants to get into the jiu-jitsu. She's just not the contact thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you got to
Yeah.
roll around the ground, get sweat in your eyes.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's rough. So she wants to get into that eventually, but she does the kickboxing. So
There you go. There you go.
Nice.
So speaking of the jiu, I didn't know this. I didn't know this about you. So what inspired you to get into jiu-jitsu?
So I've always been a fan of martial arts, Bruce Lee, stuff like that. When I was 17, I did about 7 or 8 months of judo. I had a lot going on in my life at that time. So I wasn't able to continue pursuing it, but I loved it. I loved the fact that you can take a smaller person and with the right technique, you can slam a much larger person down on the ground on their head. You know what I mean? Like that was awesome. So I had a desire for it when I was younger, and then as I got older, when I moved to Austin, there was a Japanese jiu-jitsu gym that my brother had started training at. And I was like, he told me, he's like, you gotta come check this out. So I went up there, and Japanese jiu-jitsu is different from Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the fact that real Japanese jiu-jitsu is a mixed martial art in and of itself. I mean, it's stand-up, grappling, it's throws, judo, it's aiki jiu-jitsu, hapkido, weapons training, fighting with weapons on the ground. Like it's the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
Big time mixed martial art. So I did that for about a year and a half. And then we moved back to Tyler, where I'm at now, for my job, for being a petroleum landman. And there was a Brazilian jiu-jitsu gym here, and I wanted to get my son involved. So the main thing was getting him in. And then when he got in, I was sitting there watching, and I was like, man, I got to get back there on the mats. It's scary because you're out of shape. You know what I mean? And you're going to go in there. Well, I already knew going in. I guess I had that advantage over a lot of people. I knew I'm going to get my ass kicked, right? You're going to get your ass kicked. Your pride's going to get hurt a little bit. And, but you got to just go through it. And I was like, I just got to get back on the mats, and got back in, and then got my blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It was actually 2.5 years. I got my Brazilian jiu-jitsu blue belt. A lot of work, man, but
Dude,
it seems like it.
That's awesome. That's amazing,
I-
actually.
I've never done it myself, but I'm a big fan. Like I watch a lot of mixed martial arts, UFC, and all that stuff, and it looks crazy jiu-jitsu, dude. Oh.
it is. For the first 6 months, anybody that wants to try it, this is what I tell everybody: you got to give it 6 months. You got to give it the full 6 months. We offer at our gym a free week, and which is fine. But a lot of people quit after that first class because they realize how hard it is. I puked my guts up worse than any hangover I've ever had in my life from the first class, from the first 3 minutes of my first class. It was that intense. But you know, like I mentioned to you earlier, Farilla, you gotta die 1,000 times before you learn to kill.
Oh, 100%.
So it's a lot of you
Damn, I
getting
love
choked,
that.
a lot of you getting your arm out stretched, your neck stretched, your back stretched. My coach, 260-pound dude, and smashed the crap out of you. You know what I mean? You fucking chest is gonna cave in. You know, you suck. You know, you're getting beat by kids. There's kids that were tapping me out when I first started. You know, and it's like, I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
What is going on? You know, a lot of people walk out the door and never come back because they can't take that hit to the ego. But you got to give it 6 months. You got to get out there and just keep going to class. Just keep going to class. Keep losing. Just keep losing. And then once that stuff starts to kick in, you start to learn the technique, start to understand the position you're in. You start to learn how to escape, start to learn those things. And then all of a sudden, bam, you catch somebody in a choke and you're like, holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, I did it.
Yeah.
And then it starts rolling. And then you start, you know, it's still a process, but it feels better and it's easier to stay in it. So you got to give it 6 months at least.
Wow.
There you go, guys. You heard it from the man. Give it a try. I'm looking at signing up right now. Shit, I want to see if that sounds got a chance.
It's totally
That
worth it.
sounds
man.
awesome.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Hell
You
yeah.
get your ass kicked by a 10-year-old. I know that means. I get it, brother. I get it.
Oh my god.
It'll happen. If you're at a good gym, it'll happen.
Oh my. So that's, I love hearing about what everybody's passionate with outside of gaming, man. And we know for a fact, you said it after your intro, that you've got a big affinity for guns. You're a Texan, right? How about not? So why don't you tell us a little bit about the range that you have, some of the guns that you use, what you like to do, target shooting? Do you do any competition shooting, any hunting, anything like that?
Sure. Haven't hunted in a while. Did some last hunting session. I went out and I was dove hunting probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a huge hunter, but I do love to go out and shoot. I'm not a big range guy. I don't like all the rules of the ranges. I don't like paying to go to a place to shoot my gun.
Yeah.
And I'm surrounded by woods.
Yes.
So, you know, most of my shooting is just going out and shooting trees, putting targets up. I actually have a buddy that was an airborne sniper. And he has a range in his backyard. He's got about 15 steel targets. It's actually where I took SoCal and CC to go shoot.
Nice.
And Kenobi when they all came down. We went out there and shot, and he's got you go in his house and there is a room that's, I think, 2 feet of reinforced concrete all the way around it with a big safe door on it. You open that sucker up and it's lined on. It looks like you walking into Hitman's safe room. Not even lying. He's got 4 of just about every gun he has, 2 suppressed, 2 unsuppressed on the wall. I mean, he's got Evo Scorpions, he's got UMP 45s, he's got sniper rifles, he's got AR-15s. You know, he's got the whole thing. He's got all kinds of stuff in there. So it's really fun to go out and shoot with him. Me myself, I've got, compared to him, I've got a small collection. I got about 3 AR-15s. My EDC, which is a Glock 19. I've got a 1911 shotgun and a 270 deer rifle.
Nice.
About to have an Evo Scorpion myself. So, yeah, that thing's like a video game. I mean, it's super fun to shoot. But yeah, I like getting out there and just, you know, throwing rounds down range. It's a good stress reliever. And it's just, it's fun. It's also, I mean, obviously it's a very important skill to have, in my opinion. Hopefully something you never need, but if you ever do, you've got it. So it's kind of like jujitsu. Jujitsu is also, you know, main thing with self-defense, you know, being able to defend yourself if you have to. And that's one of the reasons why I get my kids in it and my wife in it and everything else, just in case, you know. And but it's also a good physical thing, you know. So it's healthy.
You know, one of the things I've never been into guns. I just recently got an AR-15 and a 9mm. And one of the things, my wife is big into it. She's big into hunting. I've taken some martial arts growing up. And one of the things is that I learned through all of this, and even with the guns, is it teaches you respect. Like there's
Yep.
so much value of respect. Her kids respect. The minute that gun comes out, each one of them shapes right up. Everybody's on
Absolutely.
there. Everybody's on their A game. Everybody's yes sir, no sir. Can I get this? Can we do this? Are we able to go down here, do this? I mean, it's a total dynamic of respect
Yep.
because you understand the value of what all that stuff is.
When it comes to kids, you have to eliminate the curiosity factor.
You do.
And that's the first thing I did with my son when he was old enough is I took him out and I showed him my Glock 19. Showed it to him in my hands, didn't let him touch it. And then I was like, this is what this sucker will do. And I blew 2 watermelons in half. You know what I mean? And I was like, the loud noise, the visuals. This is why you don't ever touch daddy's guns. You know what I mean? You don't mess with them. This will kill you. That could be your head, that watermelon right there. And the same thing with my daughter. They know they don't touch my guns. They don't mess. You know, my dad did the same thing with me. And, you know, we had loaded guns in the house all the time growing up. Never touched them. So it eliminates that curiosity of, you know, you see it in the Hollywood movies and you're playing games or whatever. And you think, hey, this would be fun to go do.
It's a toy. Nope.
And then, you know, as my son got older, I took him out and showed him, you know, how to load one, how to, you know, all the safety stuff. You know, you never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Don't point the gun anywhere. Treat it like it's loaded at all times, you know. And, you know, he's, I'm confident, you know, he can handle himself with a firearm now.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's about, you know, teaching, you know.
It is. Teaching is always better than sheltering. So many people try and shelter, whether it be kids or friends or anything from, you know, stuff like guns, dangerous stuff, but you're much better off knowing, and then you can decide if it's for you or not or whatever, you know.
Right.
I didn't get into guns until I was older. I had no knowledge of guns until I was about 20, and just a group of friends that I got in with, they were all into hunting, and then guns obviously became a thing for me, and love it. I love everything about them. They're they're great, but you got to respect them. You do.
You
100%.
do. And it's an expensive hobby too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Between no joke, between the new firearms and the new PC, I'm going. I have no kidneys left and only half a spleen. So shit, I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to sell. Speaking of gaming, let's get into you and into gaming. Okay. The first off is everybody knows you as you're the man in the door kickers. You're POC. You're funny. How did you get in to that crew? Like, how did you meet up with them?
I killed SoCal. So, you know, we were at the time. It was me, Kenobi, Cheetah, Smoke 17, a hand, maybe 2 or 3 others. We were in LNS.
Okay.
We had started LNS. Just to back up just a little bit, Firestorm was my first battle royale experience. And I wasn't really playing with anybody other than one guy at the time, and we went in, you know, playing, and it was hard for us to kind of get used to that format, right? Because, you know, multiplayer stuff, I can get down quick. I can run a map and all this, you know, 3 or 4 times, and now I know where all the hot routes are. I know where the spots are. I know where the spawn points are. I know how to spawn trap. I can easily start racking up kills. Battle Royale was completely different. Don't know where anybody's at. You know what I mean? There's all these different squads running around. You know, there's all kinds of different elements that were thrown in there.
Yep.
And I knew immediately this is going to require teamwork. Like you got to have solid teamwork on this. Got to have good and it was so hard finding anyone. And ran into Kenobi and those guys, and then we started LNS. And then, you know, SoCal was always, DK and SS were always the squads to beat, right?
Yep, they were the measuring
in the
stick.
lobby, and you knew those guys you got to beat. And we had ran into them a couple of times, and they had, it was usually them third party and us or something like that. So we were just we'd get steamrolled by them. We'd get them a couple of times, but it wasn't ever a straight up fight. Yeah. Until one time it was, and I remember it perfectly because we knew they were in the lobby, and when I went back and watched SoCal stream, he knew we were in the lobby too. And we had just wiped a squad. We knew they were the last squad left, and we were like, this is at the time where you had to drop all your crap.
Oh,
right.
Good.
Okay.
You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were no plates anywhere. So it was like plates were scarce already. Well, we were in the low ground, we were scrambling to get as much stuff as we could, as fast as we could, and all of a sudden an airstrike comes. I mean, a flare, red flare comes at us. You know what I mean? It's an airstrike, and we're like, they're on the hill, they're above us, we got to move. And we, me and Cheetah did this huge wide right rotation while Smoke and Kenobi kind of held the middle ground, and we ended up rotating all the way around. On the way there, I fired off a Lee Enfield shot, popped SoCal, and took his plates, and I knew he was going to back up when that happened. Yeah. And when he backs up, the squad backs up, right? And I was like, let's go, Cheetah. We ran all the way around this hill, came all the way around the top and flanked him and came up behind and killed him. And, you know, we won that game.
Nice.
And I went into his chat and I was like, hey, man, you guys are always a squad to beat. We haven't ever had like a straight up fight with you guys. And it was good to finally have one. You know, you guys are awesome players and whatever else. And it's cool playing with you, you know. And then he invited me on the squad. And then that was all she wrote. You know, got on the squad and we all clicked together. Yeah. You know, it was the same mindset. Mm-hmm. The way he leads the squad and the strategy and just the overall feel of the DK people is people. You know what I mean? Right. They're good people, good solid guys. They're not toxic. We don't run around, you know, rubbing stuff in people's faces and you know, and all that kind of stuff. It's good sportsmanship. It's just a really good positive environment, and I loved it from the start. And so yeah, that's how I got into DK.
That's awesome, man.
That is beautiful. And your story is similar to a lot. Like we just had Mike on a couple weeks ago, and it was a similar story. He's tired of getting his ass kicked by Cal, and messaged him and said, "Hey, you know, when you guys are pretty good, you think I could run?" And yeah, you guys really have something special there. It's awesome. And
it was really awesome of him too, because I didn't go in gloating about the win, and I don't, because you know it can be any person's game, you know.
Yep, sure.
We just have, and they also didn't have plates. They had the high ground on us and everything, but they didn't have plates. We didn't have very many plates either. So it was just, you know, it wasn't I didn't go in bragging about it.
No.
And he didn't. He was just like, "Hey man, you're a great player. I'd love to have you on the squad." You know what I mean?
Bam,
so
boom.
Like, you know. Bam. Freaking awesome.
Yeah. And that is SoCal, really, though.
Right.
It is.
You know, and it goes to that old adage, game recognizes game, right?
Right.
We all recognize when somebody else is really good, you're like, okay, yeah, that's somebody I can vibe with.
Good shot, man. Good play. You know, what can I do to be better next time? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's what DK is all about. That's what we look for. And that's what we try to represent, is that mindset that, you know, we're working on getting better. So, you know, drop the ego, drop the pride, and let's work on things that can really make us excel.
Yep. And it's rare, man. It's really rare what you guys have. There's, especially in gaming, I find there's so much ego, a lot of ego. And even some of the really good players you see, like, they can't drop the ego, and that's why it costs them a lot of wins. And ego never ever costs you guys. It's always unrelated to that.
Right.
No.
But speaking of the family kind of vibes that you have with DK, you guys are all kind of one big group. How about that trip, man, that CC and Cal put together, and I'm sure
Mansion.
You and your wife,
DK Mansion.
You and your wife, I'm sure, helped out being local there. That seemed awesome. Do you want to get into a little bit how that went down?
Yeah, it was I mean, it was super cool. I was excited. I knew, you know, this is how well I knew, or how confident I was this is going to go well. Gnarly came in a day early. Never met Gnarly in person, only known him from online.
Yep.
And I felt completely comfortable and confident going and picking him up from the airport and having him sleep here in my house.
Nice.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I mean, right when I picked him up at the airport, you know, we were hitting it off just like we're playing games. I mean, we're joking around, you know, and doing the gnarly thing. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, we're getting after it, man. And we're just having a blast. And we get to the house and, you know, we're just talking, and then we play some games. He was a little disappointed. I put him on the PlayStation, didn't let him play on my PC.
Kids, you go at the kids.
Not my problem. Not my problem.
Right, you know. And then we set up. Dude, we had to be up early in the morning. I think we were up to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just watching clips on our Twitches and YouTubes and whatever else, and I'm talking about laughing as hard as I've ever laughed in my life. Like,
Oh
we were
man.
both sore from laughing so much, you know. And then we get up the next day, and we go pick up Mike, Fierce, Kenshin, and Benji, and it was the same feel with those guys, man. You know, it was just, all of them are really great guys. You know, we met Mike. You could tell, and he told us afterwards, you know, that his brother and family had said, you know, it's a scam, they're all going to take your money or something. You know? So he was, you could tell he was a little bit hesitant at first walking up to us, but then we were like, just gave him big old hugs, you know, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? You know, and then it was just, it was like we'd known each other for forever, you know, like we've been, you know, all of them really great guys. It was super fun. You know, SoCal and CC putting that on was awesome. And, you know, we're going to be doing it again. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Well, it's your,
awesome.
we were talking with Mike. It's funny you bring that story up, and I'm going, but I spend more time with my gaming friends than I do my wife. Like, do you like, right? Like, I'm going, I know these people. I've spent years playing, and you talk, you know, you actually talk, and you get to know these people day after day, week after week, year after year. And it's like you develop a bond and a relationship. And like you said, you get there with them, and you already know them.
Right.
You already know who
you never
they are.
missed a step.
Yeah, I think I said that at one point too. We were all like walking as a group. I think we were waiting on, we might have been waiting on somebody. We might have been waiting on Kenshin and Fierce. I'm not sure. Or maybe now because they were there. Anyway, we were walking as a group, and I was like, dude, it sounds like we're in a game right now or something. Like we're on game chat. You know what I mean? Because I hear all your voices, and you're like here with me. You know, it was really cool.
Unbelievable, man.
That's
It looked like a blast. That video that CC put together was awesome. Great little getaway for you guys, and I'm sure it helped you gel even more than what you already were, which was already pretty good.
Yeah, it definitely did. You know, we were missing Outlaw. We really wanted Outlaw to be there, but he'll be at the next one. As a matter of fact, I think we're talking about going and visiting him before.
Oh shit!
So,
Let's go. Nice.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. That'd be way fun. So now speaking of, so you got into, you started doing the DK. Were you streaming then? Or did you get into streaming after? What got you into streaming?
So I was streaming. This is what got me into streaming. I was in the PlayStation settings one day and I saw stream and I was like, huh. And I clicked stream and I set up my Twitch account or whatever. And I was just no cam. I'm just streaming, mainly just streaming because I thought it was cool you could do that, right? And I was just like, you know, and I'm just streaming gameplay. You know, I don't really watch any streamers or anything at that point. And I was playing Firestorm. Actually, I started it before that because I was doing. I love flying in Battlefield. Like being in the planes and whatnot, helicopters. Like that's where I'm at. I'm in the sky, and so I was just streaming that, and then I started getting a little bit more serious with it. By the time I got into DK, I was like, okay, maybe I should like try to do a little something here. You know, these guys are all streaming, and it's a good group, so let me try. So I ended up getting a capture card and a new laptop, and I started streaming, through the PlayStation, but with some overlays and kind of a little upgrade. And I really liked doing it. I was with Twitch at the time, and I got affiliate, and it was fun. But then I realized I didn't really like the Twitch format so much. I didn't really like the Twitch contract so much. There were some things that I didn't really like.
Yep.
And and then I'm sure you guys might know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I took a break for a minute. The coronavirus stuff happened, and work dropped out from underneath me, so I was having to do other things. And so then, work picked up and everything, and I was like, you know what? I really want to get back into this, but this time I'm going to really go all out.
Yeah.
And so I bought my gaming PC. I bought every Elgato product that was available.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got everything. I got's all Elgato. We're still working on it. I've got my wife is now super involved with the stream. I bought her all the Adobe products, and she's learning, all the graphic design stuff. She's teaching herself when she can.
Yeah.
And it's a really good thing, you know. It's we're working on it together, and it's a project of ours, you know. So and she's gotten into playing Warzone with me now, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's
Bro.
she actually killed a hacker, bro.
No,
Actually killed a hacker in a game.
Let's go.
Yeah, she did.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because she was not getting any kills at all in any game, and she happened to get one kill. Was a hacker that was just like rage hacking on the lobby, and she happened to catch him from the side when I think Element had stunned him. She just happened to be right there and just unloading it to him. Kill. We're like, you killed a hacker. Oh my
Let's
God.
go.
You know.
Oh man.
He's like, what's a hacker? You know.
It's so awesome to get the wives or spouses involved with the streaming, man. I know for myself, Mrs. Steele, like she kind of same setup. I think maybe with what you and your wife have. She does a lot of the graphics, social media. She's always coming up with ideas for new things for us to try and stuff. And honestly, if she wasn't invested in it, I'd probably be single.
Yeah. It would be, it'd be a lot tougher for sure. Yeah.
No,
that's good. That's really good.
No, it's amazing how awesome wives can be and supportive they can be, and it sounds like all three of our wives are in that category. Because I know without my wife's support, I'm sure the same with you, and I know with him, we wouldn't be doing what we do if they didn't support us. So good on them. So now speaking of your stream, now you're changing some dynamics of your stream and dynamics of you. Tell the viewers, tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, so there's going to be a couple of big let's say they're big changes. The main thing is the searchability of my name on YouTube is very difficult with, first of all, the spelling of my name. Not to mention I put 2 X's on the front and on the back. So it makes it hard to search. Not only that, but no one calls me Pocalypse. Everybody calls me POC, right?
100%.
That's what I'm known as. So I'm changing the YouTube channel name to just POC. And then my gamer tag in game and on social media and whatever else will be POC.
Nice.
So it's a lot simpler. It's what people call me anyway. You know, half the time people get in, they don't know what to call. They call me. I've been called PoCal. It's been completely butchered a bunch of times. But you know, it's a name that I made up when I was 17. I wanted an original name. I wanted a name that I could enter into any game and not have to put numbers behind it, right? That's what I wanted, and so I made that name up, and I've had it since I was 17 years old. So it's just being that in the direction that I'm going, I wanted something that's more easily searchable, and then just shorten it down to what people call me already. So
for sure, no, well, because I certainly am one that butchers your name. I always have. All the way back to Firestorm, butchered the shit out of your name. And we're coming on, and it's funny because, so Steele jumped on Zoom as we were having our conversation on the phone about the setup. Anyway, and when you said, hey, I just want it to be POC, this whole relief came over me because I was like, I don't know how to say his name. Thank God it's just POC now.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, it makes it easier. For sure.
For sure.
No, that's awesome. That's good. And now you're going to be doing are you doing any kind of different logos or anything with that?
Yes.
Or okay.
So that's one thing Miss POC is working on is new stream overlays and whatnot. I'm going to throw something simple up once I change the channel name over, which will probably be this coming week.
Okay.
And so we're underneath where it says POC Gaming. It's probably just going to say POC underneath there. And then she's actually going to be working on all new animated overlays, very specific to the stream, new transitions, new alerts, things like that. Because the package that I have, I actually paid for that package, that overlay package. And it's, it's a nice little thing, but somebody else could go out and purchase it.
Yeah.
So
you want to put your own spin on it.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I bought all those products for her, to learn how to do that stuff. And also she's got the ability, she doesn't have to work, she's got the ability right now where she can learn a new skill that, she can use to start her own little side business. So
that is fantastic, man. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, POC, we appreciate you so much for coming on, sharing your story.
Hell yeah.
Talk about the stream. I love hearing all about all the cool things behind the scenes and who the people are. And thank you. thank you so much, and we truly enjoyed having you on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Like I said, you guys are doing an awesome job. Keep it up. And yeah, thanks again. It's a pleasure being here.
Absolutely, brother.
Absolutely, man. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Let's go.